Influential. Yes, influential. The Nation was first published on November 23rd, 1973, within the first decade of our independence, as the country was developing as a young nation. Through the years, the Nation newspaper was influential in the development of Barbados as a country by informing and educating the public, contributing or facilitating public debate, and allowing citizens to know what was going on around them. By providing that platform, it helped to shape how we developed as a country. Before the Nation started, the average person would not have seen themselves in the press. And we take that for granted now. But that changed with the advent of the Nation. The slogan, "The Nation Cares," embodies that. It provided an avenue for the average person to share what was important for them. The development of its own offices here at Fontabelle from the tiny rented space at St. Mary's Road. The Nation started as a fledgling newspaper that was not supposed to survive. By establishing its own premises, it allowed us to put down roots, have a sense of permanency and belonging. These offices here started small and have expanded with the acquisition of neighboring properties to the development of the extensive complex it is today, the Harold Hoyt and Fred Gollop Media Complex. Moving from a once-a-week publication to the midweek Nation, to the establishment of the Sunday Sun, and ultimately going daily, publishing every day, were important milestones in our history. Diversification of our products, the magazine products, Better Health and Smart Homes magazines, and the Visitor and Friends magazine that we no longer publish, but catered to the tourism market. Transitioning into the digital space, our website, nationnews.com, that is the #1 indigenous website in Barbados. The development of the e-paper, which is a digital version of our physical paper that can be viewed digitally not only in Barbados, but wherever you are in the world. And more recently, the development of our social media platforms and products. Our Facebook and Instagram pages have wide viewership and engagement. How to Cook Like a Bajan, the online cooking show. New episodes are highly anticipated by the audience. To our podcasts, Nationwide, Trend a Thing, Weathering the Storm, and others are starting to have an impact. And we are also on TikTok. That is our diverse community outreach efforts that has helped to define us, as with the milestone coverage of major events that affected Barbados and the Caribbean. This has positively impacted how people saw us and added to our reputation. Seeing us move from a fledgling business to a company with financial strength has given me great pride. I joined the Nation in the accounts department from our then auditors, Pete Murray, now KPMG, several years ago as a young accountant. At that time, the company was seeking to develop the finance function. Over the years, I've seen it move from strength to strength, developing as a business, responding to technological change, and developing our system and practices to be more modern. The Nation has consistently been a progressive company, adopting new technologies and investing in staff development to support its progress and to improve its operations. It was not only the operational changes, but the response to the changing media landscape and becoming more digital and visual in its coverage of the news has sustained us as a media company. It has allowed us to remain relevant. That is a long time far in the future. It will be difficult to say with confidence what that would look like. I see the nation continuing to perform its role as a media house well into the future, helping people to understand the world around them in a transparent and independent way, continue to inform, educate, and entertain through our news, features, analyses, and our various products. I believe we will continue to be a trusted and independent source that has an influence on society. We say the source matters, and we must continue to be an accurate and credible source of news and information. That said, with the development of AI and other technological changes and the shift in how people consume information, it will be hard to say what the nation will look like for our 75th and, for that matter, 100th anniversary. How we engage with our audience will change. We will need to be more visual, interactive, and immediate in our delivery. How we earn revenue and fund our operations will be different. As we are doing now, we would need to seek out other revenue centers. There are so many. The Fun Walk and Funathlon is in its 37th year. The nation started this event in 1988, before walk or run events were fashionable, and had a massive following, especially in the early years. It was to encourage persons to engage in physical activity, and it was part of our push for persons to adopt healthy lifestyle. I can remember the Healthy Lifestyle Extravaganza in Queen's Park was a major annual event for a few years. Our Greening Barbados or Green Nation initiative that promote environmental consciousness are admirable, and these are done in collaboration with the Future Center Trust. I have fond memories of the first night cricket match at the National Stadium. I attended that match with my father and my brothers. I was not at a nation at that time, I was still in school, and cricket on the lights was unheard of in Barbados. This event was sponsored by the Sunday Sun in 1980 to a jam-packed crowd, which illustrated the pioneering nature of the nation. Some details of that match still stick with me. I can remember some person was bowling, I believe it's Marco Marshall, was bowling extremely fast. And some person in the crowd remarked, "If you can't see the ball, appeal for light," and to outbursts of laughter. Support and coverage of cricket or sports in general, our sponsorship of road tennis, sponsorship of athletes. We are sponsors of Knapsack and recently introduced the Harold's Heart Shoe Hub, which provided athletic shoes for these young athletes. And we partner with the University of West Indies on some of their outreach efforts. The upcoming Elsa Gavile Lecture in its 40th year is one such partnership. These are among the several of note. It is not like one of the landmark anniversaries, for example, our 50th anniversary. However, we will be celebrating our achievements, giving thanks to the Lord for guiding us for another year and showing appreciation to our staff and customers. The church service is on November the 16th. The Customer Appreciation Day will be on November the 28th and will provide an opportunity to interact and recognize our customers. The landmark event, the Funathlon, is on Sunday, November the 23rd, our anniversary day, and we are expecting a bumper turnout. My message is one of gratitude, thanking all our partners for getting us this far, for helping us to create a legacy. It has been said the nation is a genuine Caribbean success story, a shining light in regional journalism. It's also a commercial success, building financial strength. As we celebrate another anniversary, it allows us to reflect on our achievements, the work of past colleagues, the contribution of our founders, Carl Hoyt and Fred Gollop, but it also challenges us to look ahead. For sure, we must protect what is precious from the past, but also we must look forward, continue to innovate, and strive to excel in this new environment. I would ask them to continue the journey with us, even as we face new challenges in a new environment. As we transition our organization and its products and services, we ask them to continue to support us. I can say I've evolved with the nation as the nation evolves. And the nation was good to me, and I was good to the nation. I was able to receive lots of opportunity working here. Maybe that is why I stayed so long. As the nation was trying to establish the ECNU of the Caribbean, I traveled the Caribbean, some remote places or novel places as Montserrat before the volcano. I need to go back there to see how it is now. Even to far south as Ghana, I travel to set up agents and identify how we could have made the ECNU successful. Also, I traveled to Martinique. We were printing for Martinique newspaper, and I went there to resolve a problem with the printer there. Also, not only in the Caribbean, I traveled to North America. Nexpo, a newspaper exposition, was a major thing back in the day. And I attended several of those Nexpo exhibitions or training sessions in North America. But I think the most important aspect was having the nation sponsor me to complete my master's in London. I spent a year in London, and that was thoroughly enjoyable and rewarding for me. So I can say I've evolved with the nation as the nation evolved, and I had lots of opportunities, and I can say I had a good period of time at the nation.